Okay, so this is a playthrough of Hanna in a Choppa with the hard controls. That's using the mouse. Not many people play on the hard controls, I guess. They are quite tricky. This really just sort of proves that it is possible to do perfects and fasts all the way through the game on the difficult controls. Okay, so level 1 and 2, just pretty easy, just fly to the exit. Level 3, you've got to tap this little brick out the way. The nice thing about my mouse controls is that you can kind of give things a little nudge like that. You can kind of flick the chopper around nicely. And that gives you a little bit of ability that you don't get in the basic controls. Level 4, turning the chopper upside down, flying through the fan, makes you get down there really quick. This one's again pretty easy, just throw the little balls into the hole and you're out. The trick with this one is to pick up the weight as early as you can, so don't move any of the other balls out of the way, just find that little gap in the middle and pull it up. You don't need all that many balls to go down the hole, that's probably enough. Yeah, there we go, and we're done. Okay, this one takes quite a lot of luck. You've got to get a lot of downwards momentum and fluke our way through the Bs, takes a few goes. You can do this with the weight, it's quite a lot harder to get the fast that way as well though. Again, upside down, helps us fly downwards quickly, made a nice little zip through the Bs, job done. Okay, everyone complains about this one, it's actually quite a bit easier on the difficult controls. You just turn the chopper upside down, you fly through, and as long as you're in front of the flag, it doesn't matter what you hit, you still have your perfect. Okay, this one's relatively tricky, but again a little bit easier on the hard controls. You get a bit more control when you're upside down. The only difficult thing here is remembering which way up the chopper is, because the controls are relative to the gravity, I suppose, in the hard controls. Oh, shouldn't really have hit that little bit there. Never mind. That could easily have rolled off, so hang around a little bit just to make sure it rolls into the hole. And straight to the exit. Okay, tricky start there. You got to somehow hit that first button if you want to go fast, but you have to not hit the walls. So use the winch and a little flick to flick the winch over that way. And there we go, fast and perfect. You can do that on the easier controls just by flying over there, but you can't turn around fast enough with the hard controls to keep the perfect as well. Another nice simple level, you just fly straight across the exit. The landing's all important. Yeah, that worked pretty good. Okay, that flick there's pretty important to get yourself moving across and to keep your height as well. It's quite a tricky little manoeuvre. This level's relatively easy on the easy controls, but on hard controls, getting there for the finish is tough in the appropriate time. You can go up the shaft if you wanted to go easier. Okay, this is a tricky level. In terms of doing it fast and perfect, it's easier on the easy controls, but with hard controls, you kind of need to get that magnet down as fast as you can. That usually means crashing. So there we go, fast. Next up's the perfect. Okay, so with perfect, we have to spend a little bit of time teasing the magnet across. That was close. We can use the little flick of the tail rotor to flick it across a little bit. There we go, that's the one. Then we've got to hover very precisely up here, not touching the ground, and not flying so high that the magnet jerks away and drops the other magnet. This is a fairly precise piece of flying. There we go. There's a nice little glitch on this level, which lets you get fast and perfect. If you spin fast enough and flick the winch fast enough, you can actually flick it right the way through bits of the level and you can press the button with it. So, simple as that. Off to the exit. The sheep, everyone loves the sheep. Relatively simple level, it's just a case of flying accurately, learning how you pick sheep up with the winch like that. The winch always unfurls in a certain sort of kind of way if you're falling backwards. If you get the timings just right, you can kind of flick it down so it hits the sheep just right. Just a practice thing really. I flicked him rather hard there and just hanging around just to make sure he doesn't bounce right the way back. Might have to play a bit of airborne footy with him, but he fell into the hole nicely. Sometimes you can flick these sheep rather further, and you can do backflips with the chopper to flick them. He needed a couple of little nudges along the ground just to make sure he's there. But the time limit's fairly easy, fast and perfect. Okay, the first of the tower levels, dead easy. You just pull the tower over, fly over it, land at the exit. No trouble at all. This level's just a slog. It's just a case of pick up all the people, take them all to the exit. You've got to be a little bit careful when you're dropping them. That went rather well. This guy looks as though he's about to go spinning, so it's not a bad idea to give him a quick dunking. The water tends to damp their motion a little bit. So you've got to be a bit careful not to knock the first guy off when you put the second guy there, and so on with the third guy. Oh, that's unfortunate. Should have picked him up really. The time limit's reasonably generous in this level, so it's no big deal. Oh, that was an unfortunate dropping point. Dropped him in the hardest to pick up place. With the last guy you can be a little bit more rough when you put him down, because as soon as he gets into the hit zone the whole thing stops. The guys can't fall off at that point. The boat, you just have to drag it in so it's the right way up, so you pick it up on one side, flip it over. You have to be a little bit careful there. Oh, managed to turn part of it inside out, but that'll still count because it looks at the edges of the boat to make sure it's the right way up. Land and we're done.